Hey, everybody out there in Cryptid Land. Today we have Marta Bravo with us, and she's going to be talking to us about some elementals and aliens. How you doing, Marta?
I'm
Begin
doing
there.
great. How are
You
you?
doing good? I'm doing awesome. I'm doing awesome. So I think so. We tried this the other day, and we had a lot of issues. So we're retrying it again today. And I think we started off talking about the aliens first last time, if I remember
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So
hmm
if you want to pick up there, and then we'll
hmm
roll through this thing again.
Yeah. So, I've had some experiences with some negative aliens and some positive ones. I think the other day I was started with the Greys, which I had a really terrible experience with them because they tricked me. They seduced me. They read my field and they could see my weaknesses and my desires, and they thought, oh, she's into aliens, so let's pretend that we're nice aliens. And
Yeah.
they asked me, they came up all nice and they were like, oh, would you like to come to a spaceship? And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did that, I was like, oh, that feels weird. There's like a weird energy here. And that was that. And then they attached to my field and they just made my life really, really hard for like 2 months or something. Like they blocked my psychic abilities, so I was really confused. They kept tricking me, and I ended up even being homeless for like months. It was just hell. It was horrible.
It sounds like
And
it.
yeah, yeah. But then with that I learned how to not do that again, how to not consent or be tricked by negative entities. So
So,
that was a learning experience.
so do you think by your consent, that's what got the ball rolling? So, do you think if you wouldn't have given consent, it wouldn't have happened?
Most probably, because there's a kind of law that they can't do anything to you if you don't give consent, but they can trick you and they can do all kinds of like, sneaky things that they consider you giving consent, even though you don't know what you're doing.
You know
But
what? You know what that reminds me kind of a little bit like demons in the Bible,
oh
because
yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, yeah.
okay, I
So
didn't mean to
there's
cut you off, but that's the connection I made.
no, that's really great because that's how all parasitic entities work, because it's a kind of universal law that they can't violate your will. But if they disguise and they do some, I don't know, deceiving things, and you say yes, that's considered you saying yes to them. So it's kind of wrong
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, yeah.
but but yeah. um so you should
And
always really just feel the energy. If it feels weird and if someone's trying to seduce you and like say weirdly nice things to you or try to entice you with something, just tell them to go away.
yeah, I think I would. So, and you were also saying that when they were messing with your life, they were, and if I think I'm remembering this correctly, they were like around you all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
necessarily that you could see them, but you knew they were there. And
Yeah.
I brought up a point that I've interviewed other people that have been abductees, and
Mm.
they've told me similar things. That there's times when they can be in a room with you, but they have the ability, I guess, to change their frequency or something,
Yeah.
whatever it is they do, to where
Mm.
they can be there, but you can't physically see them.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
is that what
I
they were
have to
doing with you?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have to kind of tune in to see into those things. So if I close my eyes and I concentrate, I could see them hanging around. I couldn't see them all the time, but I could feel their vibe, which is kind of like, oh, it's gross. It's kind of like oppressive and like something that dulls your senses. Like you feel this like a wall that's separating you. It's horrible. Like I hate that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like they're fun guys, but I generally get that vibe from people. Like I've not had any alien experiences. I'm pretty sure I saw a couple of UFOs, but that's the extent of it. But the people I have talked to that have had extensive alien encounters or just well, the abductees mainly, they usually say that the grays are kind of like minions, but they're not real nice. They're kind of like they got an attitude, or
Exactly.
they got a meanness to them.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, they're minions, they don't have any real power. Like, they're just workers of some bigger, maybe probably reptilians or insectoids from what I have found in other times. But yeah, but they have this attitude, like they like to laugh at you and like be really nasty and make bad jokes, and go like, ha 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 ha, they're
So
really funny if they weren't so gross and they weren't actually, giving you like lots of trouble. But it's kind of comical.
so you tend to think that the reptilian types are the hierarchy, the ones that are kind of
Yeah,
running the show.
yeah, yeah. The
So
Greys are like minions of bigger ones. Yeah.
what kind of vibe do you get off the reptilian type?
The reptilian, really, really powerful, really brutal, powerful in a bad way, and very controlling, and something that makes you think. Like, I think most humans do not know that level of evil exists, because those people, they have no feelings, they don't care about us, and they have put a lot of work and a lot of their intelligence into just exploiting us, and so when you come in contact with that, you're like, wow, that makes me sick. Yeah, yeah, they're
Well,
like real evil, the extreme.
what's kind of cool is, well, I don't know about cool, because apparently they're not nice beings to a certain extent, but when everybody I talk to and in all the encounters I hear about, people describe them the same way. They I mean, for the most part, they really describe the Greys and the Reptilians. Actually, all of them have the same attitude, and to me, that gets into the case of, well, not everybody can be lying, especially if people are given the same descriptions of
Yeah,
the way they look, the way they act. Everybody seems to be in the same boat on most of that stuff.
yeah.
So, are there any good aliens, or we got to
Oh
be
yeah,
like,
tons of good ones.
okay?
Yeah.
Well, generally, what do they end up being?
Oh man, I think there's more good ones than bad ones in my experience. And I think the good thing is that as evil as the evil ones are, the good ones are also incredibly good. Like when you come in contact with those, you're like, wow, you know, I don't want to leave. I want to stay with these guys. So it goes to both extremes, It's like, so, it's neither bad nor good. It's just much more extreme than what we're used to
I
here.
got you. I got you. And they seem to, even though some of them aren't nice and some of them are really good, they seem to all be on the same team, though. Is that correct?
On
Or
the same, I think not, because I think
no?
in my experience, because I also do shamanic healing. So when I do shamanic healing to humans, sometimes they have problems with negativities that are attached to them, and they're like sucking their energy or something like that. So I get to see that as well. So in my experience, there are some negativities that just see us as food, as cattle,
Oh,
and because they need to parasite us to get energy. So we're like, they exploit us. Whereas there are the good ones, which are the opposite. They just want us to be free and to get rid of the other ones, and to like become more evolved and get our psychic abilities. So in my view, there's actually like two teams.
Two factions. I got you. Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I really don't know. I I'm definitely getting way more interested in this subject. I'm starting to learn a little more, talking to people. So that's why if I ask a dumb question, you have to forgive me because
Oh
I'm
no,
still learning. I'm
not at
still
all.
learning.
Plus, I mean, you could say that they're both in the same team from some point of view because the bad ones chose to incarnate as bad ones to help us, become more good. So, I mean, you could look at it like that if you want,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. You can say so much.
Yeah. So, and I got to ask you about because I heard you talk about the shamanic healing before.
Yeah.
Um, that sounds so awesome. I don't know what that entail. What does that entail? Like, if let's say somebody called you and said, "I need some shamanic healing." What's
hmm
that process entail?
It could be many things, but usually the person will say that they have a problem. It could be anything really, but say it's like a trauma, because usually it all comes down to trauma. Um, say for example that there's something in your life that keeps going wrong, even though
Uh
you
huh.
do the right thing, it keeps going wrong and you can't get out of that. That's usually because you have a trauma. So then I go in. With their helping spirits and my helping spirits and other ones that want to come in, and I do like surgery but on their energy body. um, so in their energy body I can take away traumas, I can take away attachments to negative entities, I can take weird cords to other you know entities, to portals, all kinds of stuff. I basically do surgery on the energy body, and then that gives you very very direct results, like that changes things like that most of the time.
Okay.
Because if you get rid of a trauma, then like your perception changes, your negative patterns stop. Or it maybe sometimes, for example, with addictions,
Uh huh.
most people that have an addiction have an entity attached to them that's making them crave whatever they're addicted to. So it could
Yeah.
be a dead person. Sometimes if addiction runs in a family, it means like the dead person is attached to the living one, and that keeps happening, and there's a cycle of that. So then you remove the dead person, you send them home to heaven, and it all stops. So
Okay. Well, you kind of just answered my question a little bit because I did have one in my head. I'm like, okay, so you're getting this negative energy, you're getting rid of it, and I was curious of what happened to it because I'm like, do you as the shaman have to absorb it? Do you
oh
banish
no.
it, or does it go someplace? But it sounds like you're putting it
Yeah.
back where it belongs.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, because in Christianity, for example, when they do an exorcism, they say, I don't know, I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but they say that they send the demon or the entity to hell, or I'm not
That's
sure.
what that's where they
But
say, but where is hell?
yeah,
That's
I have no idea. But the
yeah.
point with what I do is that you always send the entity to heal. So you're not punishing the entity either, you're just sending it wherever it needs to go to make things good.
Okay. So let me see if I'm getting this right. So even though you have an entity attached to you and it's impacting you negatively, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's doing that to harm you. It's just what
It's
it's
just what it does to
what
it,
it does.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I mean, there's a vast range. It's different to have like a dead person that is confused and doesn't know they're dead, to having like a massive insectoid. It's different, you know.
A little different, a little different. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's entities that like hardly think. They're just like a mass of stuff that's sucking your energy, and there's some that are like a holes, and they're like
Ah.
really,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
there's a whole wildlife out there, you know.
Well, I guess it takes all types, don't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I'm going to switch gears a little bit because I remember we were talking about the things going on in the earth, in the earth.
Hmm.
Um, I'm trying to, you were talking because there's elementals.
Hmm.
We're talking about the elementals, and they have projects or something that they're doing in the earth to try to heal the earth.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Fill me
And
in a
that,
little more, and then I'll throw some questions at you.
okay. Should I describe the elementals a bit? Because I didn't do
Yeah,
that. And I feel like
I would
maybe
love you
people
to.
don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, there's again a really vast range of elementals. There's some gigantic ones, some really minute ones. But the ones I know and work with are the most normal ones, which are like elves, leprechauns, goblins, pixies, um, witches, giants, like all these beings that you see in fantasy books,
Uh huh.
which are all the fantasy books are taken from these places. So
Yeah.
all of these guys are the ones that I work with, but there are many, many more. And I'm friends with those. And yeah, so some of the work that I do with them is to heal the energy grid of the earth. And so they show me. So I will stand on top of a mountain or a place where I have a big view of this land that I'm working on. I'm always working on the same because I want to make that good. And so I will look at the land and they will show me an area that has some hurt, some pain. And then I will kind of zoom in. And usually they will show me like a thread of light, which is like a golden thread of light, which is broken. And where it's broken is like I can see the blood and I see it enlarged. And then I go and I start putting it back together and
Uh
it
huh.
grows little filaments and I take a while and it really takes some energy. It's quite intense. And while I'm doing that, I'm seeing the whole area. I'm getting images of all the pain that was in that area, all the things that happened. Because what happened, it's just so involved, is
No,
that
I love it. I love it. Tell us.
so in this area where I'm in, there are royal families and there are people that work with demonic entities. And for them to be able to do that, the demonic entities work with politicians and they help the politicians become powerful and get power and control and all of that. But for them to be able to do that, they need the land to have a low frequency and be able to hold pain, so that when they do all this horrible stuff that they do, which they do, absolutely horrible stuff, rituals and disgusting stuff, the land will absorb the pain and it will keep accumulating, and then it creates this area of heavy energy, and then those negative entities feel very comfy there, you know,
Yeah.
and they can do their stuff. Um, and so with the elementals, they teach me to heal that grid that was intentionally broken. And when I do that, I will heal the thread of light. Once I put it back together and it's repaired, um, I see all this energy come back up and it goes like boom, and all this life happens again, like it just comes up. And life starts flowing through the thread again. And all the elementals and plants in the area go like boom, they really perk up. And I feel that with my body a lot. It's very intense. I cry when I see the pain. It gets really, really strong. And then when I put it back together, it's like, whoa. So I do that again and again, and I heal the threads so that life can flow again. Um, I got attacked for doing that by the entities.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
was it like a mind attack or a physical attack?
like my house flooded and all kinds of things started
Oh,
happening. Yeah.
that kind of attack. I got you. Oh no.
Yeah, it was like nonstop, but it's fine. It's fine. I mean,
So so before you carry on, I
yeah.
notice when you're talking about the healing and the mending, you keep bringing your hands together.
Hmm.
When this process is taking place, are you completely doing it with your mind, or do you actually move your hands and
Oh, that's a
just
good question. No, I do it with my hands actually.
do you?
I
Okay.
have a thing. I have a thing with my hands. So my hands get really, really hot when I'm doing that, and it will almost hurt a little bit. It's like the energy accumulates in my hands a lot. So yeah, it's my hands actually. Yeah,
Okay. Huh. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
And then I got another question. So the pain in the land. You talked about the pain in the land. Is it strictly does it strictly come from the abuse that humans have done to the land, or can it also come from the atrocities humans put upon themselves? Kind of like back in the day when they used to sacrifice humans thinking they're appeasing
Mm.
whatever, but maybe they're appeasing the bad gods and hurting the land. Is that part of it, or is it just strictly the things we do to the earth itself?
I think it's everything. I think it's
Everything?
everything. Yeah,
Okay.
because they showed me too something that was really an experience. They showed me what this land looked like a few hundred years ago. And they showed me that to say, this is like the original template. This is like the energy of the place if it was healthy. And this is what we're kind of seeding again. And when I saw that, it was just incredible. Like the connection that people had with animals and plants was just incredible. You know, it was like a really profound experience to see that, really, really deep. Like now, even if you're like a tree loving hippie, I don't know, you wouldn't come close to that. It was really magical. So
So
yeah.
what boat do you think the Native American, because the way you're talking, and I know, yeah, tree hugging hippie and all that stuff, but we it, the the most badass hugging hippies that ever existed were the Native Americans.
Yeah.
I mean, they lived with the land, they lived with the creatures, they respected everything. So it sounds like that's the kind of road they were going down.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so do you ever look into? I know I'm stepping outside the box on this one, but do you ever like study anything the Native American tribes ever did
Well, it's
in
funny you
that
say
respect?
that. Because so I work with my spirit guides, and my main guide is a Native American. It's a Lakota guy. And that's like my
Perfect.
best friend. And he's the one that talks to me the most. He's there all the time. So I feel like, you know, an ancestor of mine, but I have no idea how long ago from. But
Yeah.
he's my guy. He's my friend.
Well, if he's Native American, he might have a couple Bigfoot stories. You ought to have him come on the show.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, send him my info. But I mean, yeah, I usually talk about Bigfoot a lot, but you're the first person I've had come on that's talking about the elementals. And when you said elementals, originally in my mind, I'm thinking like a whirlwind is the wind elemental, and like a fireball is the fire elemental. But you're saying they're the elves and
Yeah.
the fairies and the pixies. And honestly, I've gotten some people I've interviewed that have some pretty cool pictures that look like a damn pixie in the picture, and I don't think they've been manipulated. So um, I think that stuff's out there. I think that stuff's
Yeah.
out there. So when you deal with these creatures, do you actually are these elementals creatures? Let me ask you that question. Are they more? of a physical thing or more of a uh, spiritual thing? Like they're there, but you don't really see them, kind of like the alien thing. Or
Yeah, they're similar. So I mean, they are physical, and they can be in your room and on your sofa, and right here, and they are many times.
yeah,
um, but they're less dense, so you can only see them if you can see into the fourth dimension, which is the same as aliens, dead people, and spirits. But they are there and they are everywhere. Like they create nature. So wherever there's
yeah,
nature, water, rocks, it's full of elementals. So like you can't not have them.
yeah. So are you ever able to like have a conversation? Well, I know this kind of vague, but
Yeah,
like
no,
a
you can.
conversation. You have a
You
conversation
can.
with them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's crazy because they're a lot like people. Like they have hair and clothes and jobs and music and conversations, and they're really funny, many of them. Like you can really laugh a
But
lot
when
with.
you say job, I doubt they're going to McDonald's and
No
flipping
McDonald's, no.
burgers.
No,
Okay.
they would
When
hate
you
that.
say I would think so. So when their job is basically kind of like along the lines of what you do. Are they doing the same thing about the healing, or what
uh,
exactly is their
so,
job?
some do. I'm not a super expert. I mean, I know what I've seen, but some of them, for example, make clothes in the elemental world.
Okay.
um, some make, believe it or not, booze.
Well, I definitely believe that. Yeah. Who doesn't like a little booze?
Yeah, they do like some booze.
Yeah.
Some of them make art, some of them are scientists, some of them are like, some of them study humans actually, to work with us now. And so
Yeah.
I'm one of the humans that's working with those elementals.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And they have cities with houses. They have, humble houses. They have huge palaces. But everything is much more, because they're less dense and they're made of energy and they can manifest like that. So they have really cool shit,
Yeah,
basically.
I would think
you
so.
know. And they have incredible animals and jewelry and these like buildings made of glass, and just stuff looks really great. Like you go to those places and you're like, yeah, I don't want to come back, basically.
Yeah. I hell come back. I just want to go.
Yeah, me
So
too.
so these cities, these houses, are they on the physical earth up here, or is it more like it's on the physical earth? We just can't basically see it. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. So some of them live, for example, in our physical places. Like, for example, there are some abandoned houses that have been taken over by elementals, or some people that have like little fairy houses, and the fairies actually live there,
Huh.
or they have places which are more in the astral, and the whole thing is just in the astral. So
Oh, love the
yeah,
astral.
so some of them are like much more here, and some of them are just there, and they don't bother with us, basically.
Well, now that you brought it up, do you ever go to the astral? Do you have that ability? 'Cause I know some
Yeah.
people do, but that you can do that.
Well,
Go to
I
the
do it.
astral plane.
Yeah, yeah, I do it because they take me on a journey. So I have this elf ally, and I have two allies, well, mostly two, maybe more. But they take me on journeys. So yeah, I go flying into the places that they have, and then they show me around, and it's really, really great.
Okay, so are you? Do you have what do they call that? The silver cord?
I don't think I do it like that. No.
Okay.
I know what you mean, but I don't
Yeah.
use that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and now I got to ask you, what's the coolest thing that they've shown you?
Oh, that's a
What?
hard question.
Well, there's got to be something.
Oh no, there's many. I'm just trying to
Ah,
think because wow, there's I could get really, you know, I don't even tell my friends anymore because they're like, ah, here she comes with more stories.
yeah, but I
Um,
haven't I haven't heard none of it.
oh, okay. Let me think. Let me think. What would be a
You
cool
got it.
one? Sometimes I don't remember. Okay, well I'll just start. So I'm gonna sound like I'm nuts, but I promise you this is all true, you know? Like just think 200 years ago it was normal to work with elementals, like people knew
Uh-huh.
it. So okay, so my elf friend, he's a royal elf. Royal elves are like they don't get their hands dirty so much. They're like very elegant. They're like the royal class. They wear really cool clothes, and he gives me a swan, and I
A
ride the swan.
swan? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I like
and
it.
and he rides another swan, and so I get on the swan and we go boom, and he takes me somewhere. um for example, one time he took me to the sun, uh and he said the sun is a portal, the sun.
Yeah, yeah.
So he said,
How did
the sun.
how did you not burn?
Yeah, I with my energy body, so I guess
Oh,
it's,
okay. Well, yeah, I guess
yeah,
that gives you a buffer. I don't think he'd take you there if you were gonna get burnt up though. So
probably not. That wouldn't be
yeah.
nice. um oh man, so the sun is a portal. So we got to the sun, then we went through this like red circle. uh let me okay, it's just difficult.
I'm sorry.
No, 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 no. It's fine. It's fine. I've never put this into words. But there's like a whole other dimension in the sun. And then through there, we went into a place where there were some other beings, and it looked very, very ancient. Like these beings look very ancient. And I had a feeling of recognizing the whole thing. Um, oh yeah, I remember now. When I went to the sun,
How could you
they,
forget?
yeah, they operated on my third eye because I said I want to see you better. Like I want to see you in
Yeah,
HD. I want to see what clothes you're
yeah,
wearing, what belt you're wearing. So they
yeah.
opened my third eye and they started like drilling something and going bzzzt, um,
Uh,
and having all this like lightning go into it. And then suddenly I could see much better. And when I focused on the elementals, I could see like everything, like see their face and their clothes and um, their hair and everything. But so, that wasn't such a cool story. Wait, I'll try to think of another one. um, um, let me think.
if, if if you need a minute, or do you got one? You got something?
I got many. So another time, my friend took me to a palace made of glass that was very impressive. So it was like a huge, huge cathedral made of glass, and the glass was colorful as well. And it's just so striking, you know. The visuals are like, how could you do that? It's so cool.
Yeah.
And they have water and they have sculptures, and they go like this and go, look at this, and then the water fills with stars, and you're like, oh my god.
Oh wow.
And then they would many times they take me under the water, and then I see a whole world under the water, and I see dragons, mermaids, these blue
Yeah.
elementals.
Yeah. Now we're getting, because I remember you bringing all this up last time, and I was getting really intrigued by this. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I got
No,
excited.
no,
Didn't mean to cut you off.
no, no. It's difficult because the experiences are really, you really feel like you're there and you really feel it, and it's kind of unnerving because like, it's like, wow, I'm in front of something that's alive that's
Yeah.
looking at me, you know. Um,
And is
and when
this?
I,
Oh, I
yeah,
was going
yeah.
to say, is this the same place where because I remember from the last time we talked about like ant creatures too.
Hmm.
Is this the same place where they were?
Not the same, but all of it was underground. Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
yeah. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I've been into the sea many times and seen like these huge divinities as well, like a huge female divinity under the sea. And it's just, it's the experience. Like you just feel so impressed, and you feel that whole thing. And yeah, and it's really striking visually. It's like full of incredible blue beings and giants and something that looks at you.
Man, I can like see it in my head as you're explaining it. I can see it.
Yeah,
I'd love to see it for real, but I can still my imagination's like running with you, and I like it.
yeah.
Um, Something I did want to ask you is about portals because I bring portals up a lot to people,
Oh yeah.
and you seem to have a knowledge about it. Um, I'm very, very curious about portals, and I think one of my biggest questions and things that I wonder about is are portals like on in certain areas on the earth just because of uh, the energy that's in that area, or do the elementals and aliens and stuff do they have the capability to make portals when and where they want, or is it like a combination?
um yeah, I think both of those are true. I actually know where there's an entrance to the inner earth around here. So exciting.
Close to where you're at.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know if you can physically go in there because it's in a very deep hole. So I don't know if I jumped in there, I might die. But I know the
Well,
entrance is there.
I don't think I just jump in, but go ahead.
Probably
unless
not.
you
No.
unless you're in your astral body, then jump.
Yeah. Yeah. But oh my, there's just so much activity in that area. You should go there if you ever can. It's crazy.
What where? I mean, you don't have to give me an exact area, but where generally, like what country is this thing in?
It's in Spain, and
Hey, my mom's from Spain,
oh
so
yeah, she
yeah,
can take you.
yeah. I got relatives in Madrid. I've been there to see them.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah,
so
this is in Spain in the Pyrenees Mountains, and there's a natural park there that's really virgin. Like there's not many towns. There's a lot of just land, and there's this canyon in there, which is nuts. I mean, there's there's
hmm.
just like ET shapes going into caves. There's like some energy generator, which has lots of beings like getting energy from that. There's the inner earth portal. Like it's just nuts.
So what do you think? What do you think my relatives would think if I just showed up there one day and said, "Hey, you guys are taking me to that damn portal or that damn entrance to the center of the earth. Let's go." You think they think I was crazy?
Maybe that happens to me.
They they wouldn't if they saw my podcast, but they probably don't even watch it. So, man, oh man. So there's an actual this portal or this entrance, shall I say, you just think that's where it goes, or you're pretty positive?
I'm pretty positive because I saw like the whirlwind of energy come from under, and
Oh,
and um, and then randomly, I wasn't looking for it, but randomly I read that people used to say that that was there, and that there are some guardians of the inner earth there, and that weird stuff has happened where people have gone. you know. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I had such a strong experience there. I was like buzzing. I was like, what just happened?
yeah. I,
It's
I keep forgetting you got the third eye and all that, and I don't have that, so I'd probably just walk right past it and not even notice it.
yeah, but I think everyone can develop that. Like I've seen it time and time again. I know like everyone's really kind of self-critical and go like, "Oh, I suck, I can't do it." But
Uh,
I really think everyone can. Like I've seen it in courses where people get trained, and in like 2 weeks they can do psychic communication. So I really think everyone can do it.
so what do you think? What do you think's the factor is that keeps most people from being able to just do it without even having to try? What do you think causes that?
I think there's a ton of brainwashing actually, to keep you from doing that, because it's so funny, because even when you are doing it and you've learned to do it, you go through like a year where your own brain tells you, "Oh no, you made that up." Like every time that you get psychic communication or a vision or something,
Uh
you
huh.
think that you made it up. And you're like, "Why am I thinking that?" It's ingrained, it's programmed in you. Like everybody has that thing of, "Oh, if it's an alien, oh, that's probably bullshit." Why should it be bullshit?
Yeah.
Like it makes more sense that aliens exist that they don't. Like that's just from a logical point of view. So I think people don't notice how much they have absorbed all this, negative brainwashing, basically. Yeah.
I like that answer. I like that answer. I've also heard that besides the brainwashing that uh, a lot of the foods and chemicals we put in our bodies
Yeah.
nowadays
Yeah.
affect that.
Yeah. That too. That too. Yeah.
So,
You need to, if you eat, actually, that happened to me. Like, I got my psychic abilities back when I read a book about nutrition and shamanism. So, nutrition is big thing. Yeah.
huh? Okay. Well, then they weren't lying to me because I've heard that time and time again.
Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
that time and time
I
again.
agree. I vote yes.
So,
Yeah.
oh, I vote yes. Feel like I just got voted off the island. Well, Marta, is there any other area that you want to talk about before we wrap it up? Because I think I got all the goodies I was lacking from the first one. But if there's anything else you got, I'm all ears. Or
Okay, yeah. Let's see. I'll say what the elementals want me to say,
yeah,
which is okay, which is if somebody wants to work with elementals, they should go for it, because they're willing. I mean, there are ways to do that safely. They can ask me if they want. I'll,
yeah,
but um, but the elementals want to help us. Kind of pull out of the false matrix or whatever you want to call it, and connect back to real reality, like
yeah,
nature and your power and the real fun stuff. And they really, really want to help us do that right now. And they want people to go to nature and do nothing in particular, just have fun, just enjoy it, and kind of like rewire your brain to rewire your whole perception of everything. And one good way of doing that is just go to nature and do nothing in particular. Like just have fun. And yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's
I like it.
it.
I like it. I like it. Little peace and quiet out in the woods, and to hell with the rest of the world for a minute. I dig
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No stress.
Yeah. Well, man, Marta, I'm so glad you came back on, and I'm so glad it worked this time. This was way
Yeah,
better. This was
yeah, way
way
better.
better.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you want to promote before we shut her down?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna put together a course in case people want to work with elementals.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
you don't need it, you can do it by yourself. But if you want some help, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Um, so I'm gonna publish that on Facebook when it's done, so they can add me there if anybody wants to do it.
You're going to do it on Facebook, and they just need to look for you, or are you going to have a different page for it?
No, I'll just publish the news on Facebook when I have the course out. So if
Yeah.
anybody wants to join, they can just find all this stuff there.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Actually, send me a message when you do that. I think I'd be interested
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this is pretty cool. I'm digging it. I'm
It's
digging
a
it.
lot of fun. It's a lot
It
of fun.
is. It sounds like a lot of fun. It's
It
not
is.
like as scary as the most of the stuff I talk about.
No, no, no. It's great. I mean,
So
I
it's
say
pretty
so,
cool.
but yeah.
Well, Marta, I have to thank you for coming back on. This was great. So
Yeah. Thanks so much.
thank you. And everybody out there in Cryptid Land, keep it creepy. All right.
Yeah, out in the woods where the shadows creep. I'm trying to find the legend that the people keep. Bigfoot's the name, got a story to tell. Footprints in the mud, can't you hear the bell? Whispers in the night, can you feel that chill? Bigfoot on the run, he's a legend, keep it real. Bigfoot, yeah, he's the talk of the town. Creeping through the trees, never wearing a frown. Legend of the forest, he's got a big stride. As the trap beats thump, you know he's got pride. Like I'm on a quest, searching for the homie, you know he's the best. Got my camera ready, heightened senses on blast. Snap a shot of Sasquatch, legend unsurpassed. Eyes in the dark, you can't catch what you can't see. King of the woods, living wild and free. Bigfoot, yeah, he's the talk of the town. Creeping through the trees, never wearing a frown. Legend of the forest, he's got a big stride. As the trap beats thump, you know he's got pride.